What's up, y'all? Josh here, content guru for RK Motors and random reciter of Ford versus Ferrari movie lines. Today, I'm joined by Rick, who is the steward of our awesome private collection.
Hi, everyone.
We're going to take a look at this 1967 GT500 that RK Motors currently has for sale and that we actually built into an awesome Pro Tour. In 2014 happened to be the 50th anniversary of the Ford Mustang, and Charlotte was the kickoff point for the Hot Rod Power Tour. So we took RK527 to the anniversary celebration at the Charlotte Motor Speedway to debut it, and we set out for 7 cities over 7 days on Hot Rod Power Tour.
I'm Chris Thomas from Kaase Racing here at RK Motors, and we are doing a little tuning on this GT500. It has a little rich at idle. We just cleaned it down a little bit here on the fuel map.
We thought it would be an excellent opportunity to showcase the talent it takes to build a car like this and have it go halfway across the country without fault. We're going to take a look at this 1967 GT500 that RK Motors currently has for sale and that we actually built into an awesome Pro Tour. But first, today's trivia question. What was the only ground-up built car to come out of Shelby American? Little hint, we sold one a few years ago. So if you're a car guy, you obviously know who Carroll Shelby was. Racer, World War II pilot, chili connoisseur, just all-around legendary car enthusiast. He's so legendary, in fact, that even some of his signatures have certificates of authenticity. So you probably know what a Shelby GT500 is. 1967 is the first year of the GT500. The predecessor was a GT350, but as the cars got a little bit heavier and Ford started making a little bit bigger engines, they progressed to the GT500. So this is a documented, registry-listed GT500. And a few years ago, I guess about 2013, 2014, we decided to see what it'd be like if we could take the ultimate Shelby to the ultimate level. The result is this car. When it comes to body, there are some original Shelby components, original Shelby scoops, an original Shelby deck lid, but the car pretty much came to us in this condition. It's Candyapple red with painted Wimbledon White top stripes, and Rick was actually part of the car's build. Do you remember any kind of significant body work that we might have done to this? Or?
Significant body work we did not have to do on the top side. Underneath the car, we put in some subframe connectors, we put in some mini tubs. The whole suspension was replaced with Detroit Speed Aluma-Frame and QUADRALink rear end with coil-over shocks.
So again, kind of the idea of making the ultimate Pro Tour out of one of the ultimate muscle cars. Let's take a look under the hood. This is the really special part about the car. As far as we know, when we installed this Boss-9 John Kaase racing engine in this car, this was the only first-gen Mustang with a Kaase Boss-9 engine in it.
We did a lot of engineering to make sure it would fit, custom-made motor mounts because no one had motor mounts for this combination yet, also custom-made headers for this. If you do the math on this engine, it is actually a 1/4 inch smaller than a Coyote crate engine, so we knew it was going to fit.
So the cool thing about this is it's probably about 700 horsepower, 800 pound-feet of torque, and that's conservatively tuned. John Kaase actually came to our facility and tuned it himself. So we realized when we were doing something this cool, why don't we showcase it to the world? Because we believe in not only catering to enthusiasts here, but creating enthusiasts. So we decided to take this car on Hot Rod Power Tour. And this car is actually a long hauler. It went all the way to Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin in its current configuration. with an added fuel cell, of course, because it really likes gas, as you might imagine.
So this John Kaase motor is set up with a multi-port fuel injection system with a computer. It's also set up with air conditioning. Their systems are all completely tied together so that when you do turn the air conditioning on, it does kick the idle up, it runs the cooling fans automatically, and it is a foolproof system. We did run it all 1,400 miles on the long haul hot rod power tour just to prove that yes, it can be done. The criteria for building this car was to make it look as stock as possible. We had hoped that 2 years earlier they had built the Boss-9 engine. If they had, this is what the Mustang would have been. You'll also notice that these rims appear to be stock. They are not. They're 18-inch one-off rims. That is so they fit over the 6-piston Baer brakes with 14-inch rotors in the front and 13s in the rear for plenty of stopping power.
So our idea was to create a car that looked like a 67 GT500 should look. And you can tell that by a very stock interior. So GT500 telemetry, GT500 accessory gauges, same shifter, GT500 roll bar. It's just has a nice muscle car feel. It's, you know, if you're looking for being in the moment in 1967, this is how you want to build it.
The only enhancement to the interior is these 3-inch lap belts for safety.
Let's take a look under the car. We've already discussed the custom wheels, how cool those are. This is Detroit Speed QUADRALink rear suspension. So this is a kit you can order from Detroit Speed. It comes with a Ford 9-inch axle if you option it that way, but it's just not as simple as bolting up to the car. You know, there's quite a bit of fabrication work, quite a bit of things that need to be considered when you're building a car like this. Something Rick can elaborate on.
So what we have here is we have a rear axle housing that is supplied by Detroit Speed, but it also has Moser Engineering internals to it to handle up to 1,500 horsepower. With a car like this, you want to overbuild your rear end and your transmission to hold up this kind of power. This rear end was set up on a surface plate and set the pinion angles and everything before the brackets were welded on, and then double checked to get all the correct angles.
So moving forward, with a custom drive shaft, the Tremec T56 6-speed transmission, quite an upgrade from what would have been in this car, which was a 4-speed, Lakewood bell housing. And the transmission is treated for durability, right?
Correct. So the internals of this 6-speed transmission were cryogenically treated to help with their performance and their reliability.
Another major departure from factory would be a Detroit Speed Aluma-Frame front suspension. This is an aluminum unit that is ordered as a kit, but like the rear, there's quite a bit of fabrication work that needs to be done. Something that Rick did firsthand.
Yeah. So one of the big things that we had to fabricate on this was custom engine mounts, because this engine was never put into a 1967 Mustang at the time we did this. We also had to build custom stainless steel exhaust systems. So this is a tri-Y header system that fits very, very tightly into this car. It is a one-of-a-kind system because, again, they never put this engine in the car as a kit.
So there are quite a few other cool details under the car. Of course, massive exhaust system. Sounds really good with Flowmasters. And a Rock Valley stainless fuel tank.
So now we're going to take this outside and see what it sounds like.
So I hope you guys have enjoyed this detailed look at our 1967 Shelby GT500 that was built right here at RK Motors. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Answer the trivia question and give us some feedback in the comments. Thanks.
I drive away into the night and I contemplate for